It's a good feeling for our group to find a little bit of momentum and some belief, and we're developing quickly, which is great.
You've got a good answer now to what you can do in the midfield, haven't you? What mix-ups you can put there, what players you can put there, what results you get from them. A few boxes you're ticking there.
Yeah, I'm pleased right across the board, but the midfield especially, because it gives you that opportunity to play the game on your terms. So, to look at tonight, and if you talk about contributors, well, it was across the board. It was hard to find anyone who sort of didn't stand up for us, especially in that midfield. I mean, Laird, he's been huge for us, changing roles this season and embracing that. Matty Crouch has found another level with his game and his contest. I think he had 12 tackles again. And that's with what he does with the football as well. So that was fantastic. Obviously, Brad coming back in complements the two of those. And that's without... I could go through a lot of our guys tonight. It'll be a long interview, but that's the most pleasing part, is we've got guys who at the moment know how we want to play, and they know how we're going to get results. And they've bought into that, which is fantastic. So a really good sign for our members and supporters that have had a really tough season up to this point, to hopefully get a feel on what it looks like going forward. I think we've seen it the last 3 weeks, and it hasn't been all about winning. It's been, we've lost one of those games and still came off feeling really positive about what the group brought.
What's it to you that when you can lead a game and hold that lead all the way through it against an opponent that's fighting for their place in the game and got some genuine want to win?
Yeah, well, that's the most positive part about it. We have huge respect for GWS, and I obviously know them really well. I know what they're capable of. We came in with a plan. We knew they'd attack. We knew they'd come hard at us and try and take us on, and they did that. But our guys, right across the board, they performed their roles time after time. We were able to stop a lot of their score, their launches from their back half. When we didn't quite get it right, we were able to bring the ball out of our back half, with composure. I think in the end they had 3 marks inside 50, so our backs were rock solid. Now that's off the back of the rest of the team defending correctly and the way that we know, being predictable to each other. So it was a really positive result for us, especially considering the opposition we had, which we, massive amount of respect for Leon and the guys, and I was lucky enough to work with them for 12 months, so I know what they can do.
On Rory Laird, the positional shift, is that something that you were planning on doing when you first came to the Crows? Obviously started season as a defender. Did you always look to move them into the midfield at some point?
What, like some genius move? No, no, not at all. Not at all. These are things that worked out over time, and just when you get to know the guys, and it's a credit to our group. We were struggling through that area of the ground early, and we just tried to make a change and inject something and have a look at something slightly different. So, no, it wasn't predetermined. It was something we worked on, not on the fly, but we know what Lairdy's capable of in the contest. And it took him a number of weeks to get himself going in there. So we'll continue to look at different options like that, different players that may not be performing in their own area, or they could even be performing really well in an area, and we need something somewhere else. But key to things at the moment is we've got guys contributing right across the board. I thought forward of the footy tonight, we were, we had some great efforts. Shane McAdam, I don't know how many weeks that is now, but he's been rock solid for us there, and some X factor, and he loves jumping at the footy. When given the opportunity, I thought Himmelberg, took another step again. Tyson Stengel, more consistency right throughout the game tonight. Tex standing up, Fogarty going to another level. So, the key now is for us to be able to, going forward, keep these this group here, our ability to retain these players going forward and make sure that we keep some of these young guys here that's really the key, and that's part of our culture we're trying to build.
What do you like? Yeah, I'm just going back to Laird. Sorry. What do you like about him in the midfield? What do you think he adds? What do you think he's added to the midfield? Missing minutes.
Well, Laddie's got an ability to win what we call a 1 metre test. It's there's a loose ball. Laddie gets on it more often than not. He's got really quick off the mark speed or acceleration. So it complements a guy like Matty Crouch, who Matty's strength is his clean hands and his ability to be physical inside. So putting those guys, there's a really nice balance in on the footy now, where we've got one that can get inside and get first possession for us, and we've got another who can really work at that speed and acceleration and give us anything on a loose ball. So they're working really well together.
On that, Matty Crouch, I think after the St Kilda game, he got a bit of heat from punters saying, like he's playing for stats. He seems to have changed his game around in that kind of period. What has he done to become more damaging with the ball, but also his pressure's been really good in recent weeks?
Yeah, and look, a lot of it comes off the bat. It's his work rate. He's put his head down and gone to work. Matty's never questioned what we're trying to do. Some of that comes back to our coaching as well. We've found a way this year in some trying circumstances to get the right drills and the right training in. So some of that's come back to what we've been able to put Matty through and show him an example of what it is we think will help. And he's been incredible in training sessions. So it's now transferring into games. We could probably take some of that responsibility early in the year that we weren't able to quite find the right drills, the right sessions, the practical implementation of what we are trying to do as a team. And that's part of the challenge we've had all year. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with what he's been able to do.
How does the ruckman feel about coming up and beating his former master, so to speak?
I can't speak for him, but I know he was really looking forward to the challenge. We had a feeling they may have brought Sam in, so with they've been playing quite a challenging schedule the last 2 or 3 weeks, so we knew they'd need to make some changes. But it was a great opportunity for him to go up against someone he has huge respect for, and in the end, it was a pretty good battle. I thought Sam towards the end started getting his hand on a few balls in around stoppage. So, but Rob was great across the night for us and gave us an opportunity. He was predictable in what he did, and our mids were able to get after it.
What's changed with that centre clearance? I mean, we've spoken so much about it during the year, but in the last few weeks you've obviously got the numbers there. But what's changed? Is it O'Brien getting more outs to advantage, or is it the Crouchers finding form?
To say it's one thing is pretty tough. We've, again, coming back to training, coming back to, being predictable to your teammates. There can be times where you try too hard as a group. You feel like we need to do this as individuals rather than actually having an understanding and a connection. And I think our guys have bought into that. They now understand that if you're talking centre bounce and we stay in that space, it's 4 guys that go at it. Some teams will bring others in to help. We look at that occasionally, but our guys have really embraced what it is we're trying to do in there, and they now understand that Rob is so important to Laddie, who's so important to Matt, and now Brad's come in and joined that. And in a short period of time, Brad's shown that he's buying into that as well. So it's been, as a coach, I know Mickey Godden's really pleased with the way the group's embraced what it is we're trying to do. It's taken some time, but we're there now. So they're getting reward for it. When you get reward for it, it's amazing how you continue to work in that space.
Just to go on to Brad Crouch, you've told us he's declared he wants to stay that way. You want him to stay that way, supposedly. So where's the sticking point?
Well, it's one that I've got to be careful. I don't say too much in around because I don't know the detail, the ins and outs of the conversation that's happening between management and our list management. Obviously, I know our side of the story. Now it comes down to, in the end, exactly where Brad wants to be, what his manager wants to do, and there's a value put on what clubs will come and offer Brad, and some of that comes back to long-term, short-term deals, and so on. So there's still a lot to go through with that, and I don't think we'll get a lot of information around that until we come towards the end of finals.
So that's a free agent one. So how do you think that
well, again, I don't want to speak out of school, but I can talk from Brad as a footballer. We love what Brad brings as a footballer, so there's a certain value on that. Someone comes in and bids, super high in an area we can't match. It'll probably come down to a term. The club comes and offers Brad a long-term deal, and it'll be something we'll look at from our future. Where are we heading as a club? And we'll have to weigh that up. But that's free agency. That's what we have to deal with nowadays, and there's an understanding, I think, from both parties in that it's challenging for both parties. We both have to look at what's best for each side, and we'll have to do that.
I'm just going to the centre bounce makeup. Do you feel like you maybe put too many players through the centre bounce rotations early on in the season? I think especially the first couple of games, a lot more than 4 people, in the rotation.
We did in round 1, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. V Sydney, we had a plan coming into the season that we wanted to finish out games strongly. We felt that there was an opportunity there because we had quite a flexible group where we could play a number of guys through centre bounce or on ball, more specifically. But in the end, with shorter quarters, we did a fair bit of research over that 2-month layoff, and we had a look at that. We haven't rotated quite as many, and if we have, it's probably been across weeks where we haven't been performing in that space. So to continue through a game where you're getting smashed -15, -20 out of clearance, to keep the same group in is kind of tough to do from upstairs. So we may have across the journey played a few more than others, but we'd be really keen to keep our group together if we're able to keep getting results like we are the last few weeks.
Matthew, Justin Longmuir gets Collingwood on his first visit. You get GWS on your first visit against them. Is there something about coaches when they come up against their old units?
Yeah.
They know a bit too much?
Well, I know them really well, and as I said before, I had huge respect for the way they go about it, and I love the way Leon coaches. I learnt so much from Leon. So, in a 12-month period to come up against the coach you've learned a lot from, I like to think I took some notes. But in saying that, it comes down to how your players go about it on the field on game day. And as I said, I thought our 22 players played it so well today. We came in with a plan on what we thought would work, and our guys executed that plan. Even when they really came and challenged, the game was still up for grabs in the end. We didn't finish our work off. When you look at the inside 50 count, you'd like to think that maybe it's finished a little earlier, but that's something we've got to work on. We've always got things we're trying to get better at, and that's one of them.
Obviously, the team wins the main thing, but Tex equal Tony Motra's record as the highest ever goal kicker for the club. Yeah, must be really happy for him as a person for another milestone this year.
Yeah, really pleased for Tex because Mods is a hugely respected former player. So for Tex to equal that mark, I think he'll be really proud of that. Maybe not tonight, but as something going forward that he'll look back on. And at the moment, he's just really enjoying celebrating a good win with his teammates. But to equal a record of Tony Modra's a fantastic effort.
How's he travelling, Tex? It seems to be willingly, not a decoy, that's not the right word, but creating space for the others, for Himmelberg and McAdam to work a bit more than he has. Is that a fair observation?
No, it's not set up that way. No, it might be seen. I mean, I think Shane's in some pretty rare form. But those guys are playing their role depending on the positioning on the field, depending on where the ball comes in. They're working as a really important unit for us. I think Tex he's taken his contest to another level. I think there was a period there where he was really trying but not quite getting the method we're after. Right now there's an understanding those three are working really well together. I'm pleased for Tex because he's a competitive beast and he doesn't like losing, so I think he's really enjoying seeing some of the growth of his younger teammates.
On Shane, we all knew, he's kind of a highlight reel, but is it more about him kind of becoming more comfortable at AFL level and actually starting to make more of an impact on games rather than the one moment actually a sustained impact on games for you guys?
For Shane, Shane's getting fitter and fitter as the season goes on. So, playing games and especially playing shortened weeks, I think that's really helping Shano. I think he loves playing footy. His issues in the past have been around the ability to perform during the breaks. Shane heads home to a reasonably remote community, and it's pretty tough to train back there. So he almost comes back to pre-season training, has to do a fair bit of work, but he's taken his preparation to the next level. The start of this pre-season, he was amazing. He came back early. I think I've spoken to you guys about it before, but it's put him in a position now where he's ready to go round one, and even now when we've played 8 rounds, he's at a level now he can just perform quarter by quarter. And he's got amazing talent, like incredible talent, the way he sees the game, the way he plays when the ball's within his vicinity. So we just got to make sure we do the right thing over this break. We've built some momentum now. We're 2 in a row. Our guys are feeling really good about footy. They've got a belief in what it is we do and the way we play. And Shane's very much a part of that, part of our future. So he's got an important break coming up. We'd love to see him in this position come round 1 next year.
So just finally, also, you've obviously got the belief in the team now, but how important has been selling hope, I guess, to the supporters that we're on the track?
Well, and most importantly, to be honest, is our supporters. As I said before, we've had a really tough year, and for our supporters, we're not going to stand for playing the way we did earlier in the year. We knew it would take some time to find our game. We believe that we've got there now, so I hope our supporters are really enjoying it. I hope they're sitting there proud of what they're seeing on the TV. It's the way we want